And I think that roll is going to continue right there. I think Italo fired up Filipe. Filipe dropping 8 on this wave, Jesse.
Are you kidding me? Look how tight that first carve was in the pocket, and that's what's so impressive of him. He's capable of doing that in the most critical part of the wave, but because he has so much leverage of speed, he gives him spare time and just finish it off with a beautiful rotation. And that's Filipe not really trying that hard on a condition like today, and he's still going to get a massive score for that. He's going to eye it down here, this closeout section, and he doesn't even need to go that big on that first wave, but it still goes. That just shows how confident he is. He's aiming it outwards off the lip to land in that flatter part so he can land in transition and not get stuck by the lip coming back up once it hits the water. So it comes out pretty clean. You can see the front foot way up in the nose. You see that a lot for surfers, just give them stability. And here's all different approach, obviously very heavy footed, beautiful carve on that second turn. Obviously a little bit slower than Filipe, but heavier. Displace more water. Nice timing there for him. Just very well surfed wave and finish it off strong. Maybe a little bit late. Good surfing, and we have a flurry of waves here.
Love to see it starting strong here in Heat 7. This is Ian Gouveia. You knew, we all knew, and now we know factually his backhand is lethal out here at Punta Roca.
No doubt about it. Look how many times he was able to go up in vertical and come out with speed, and he's showing us, he's proving it to us, and it looks like Ian's trying to do the same thing as Italo with third priority.
Ooh, love that opening turn, but goes down. I think he's more excited than anybody to show us what he can do here on his backhand, and nicely timed right there, just whips it around halfway out, but it's a no-go.
And that's what I love about Ian. He's very unpredictable.
Good conversation for after the event. Here we go, 18:39 to go. Gouveia now streaking down the line. He gets the ramp, double grab, back 5 attempt.
It looks like he's up and riding right here.
This wave looks so fun. I mean, this is skate park perfection for Filipe Toledo. Kind of like nice snap airdrop floater. And right behind him, I.Cleland Jr. Such a great style. You see a lot of Andy Irons, Bruce Irons influence with I.Cleland. He comes around this section. Beautiful carve there. Frontside vertical snap, underrated for how difficult that trick actually is to do and keep your momentum. So right there, that was just kind of blue collar, meat and potatoes surfing. It's going to be Gouveia with priority. Here's the wind up. Kind of a carving turn to start, just setting things up. There is a big snap. You see it amplifying his turns down the line. Fourth turn there. And that's Aki all day. You see him just pushing on his back foot through those turns, adds a fifth right behind him. Toledo, Filipe Toledo. Quick float, set things up through the bottom turn. Trademark Filipe Toledo carve. Comes around this section, blows the tail a little bit, gets hung up, but easily reacts and gets out of it. Another fin blow right there at the end. So that was a lot more energy than we saw in his previous wave, which was just a 2.40. That score is deleted, gone.
He's gonna be leaving a big gap in between him and all. And here's a beautiful tight carve that he starts, and that's the difference. He's going to be able to, in such a fast wave, cut it tight but still come back with plenty of speed, always coming back from behind a whitewash to be able to get up in vertical in the most critical part of the wave and finish it off with a banger. Beautiful blow tail there for him.
So the subtleties of this wave, he just had that little stall right when you took off. What did that do for him for the rest of the wave?
It just sets the pace for it. I think the important part about that as well is when you stall yourself and put yourself a little high on the beginning of a wave that it's very stretched out, it gives you a good vision of what's ahead of you, and you can read the wave better and plan what you're going to do down the line. Looks like I.Cleland's going to get a good wave as well.
This wave looks perfect. Again, Punta Roca showing us what it's all about down here in El Salvador. Comes around this section, big whipping snap right there. He's currently in second place. He's a 4.74. That is, of course, before we've seen the last two scores drop through. Comes through to the inside, looking for a ramp, slightly caught behind. Now he gets back into the open face. He finds it.
And here all starts off doing a little airdrop on top of the wobble right there from the rock, and this is a beautiful tight carve he's going to do right now. Identifies that, no, sorry, next one. identifies that bowl, brings it all the way around. The judges are gonna love how he drives through that turn with the inside rail, lots of power, and this is the moment where he kind of loses the timing of the wave. The wave runs down a little bit more than he was expecting, and then he resets, but hits that section just a touch late and gets stuck. But good surfing from him right there.
I mean, how good is his style? You mix power with just perfect style like this, you get a special surfer.
Pretty effortless as well. Stands pretty tall on his board, doesn't need to move the board around to generate speed. But I kind of have a feeling he might be in trouble with Ian's last wave.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you, because as of now, with the last scores that come. Meanwhile, Gouveia, that combo was savage. Huge start for Ian Gouveia, almost goes down there. It just kind of caught a little bit behind, but wow, that combo bottom turn snap was lethal.
You're doing the right move at the right time and not getting caught behind. Here, nice first turn, beautiful opening for Ian, and I think this third one is where he gets very critical. You see that bottom turn, he cuts it short, almost borderline catching that inside rail. And right here it was the 2-4-1. That's the only little wobble he had on that wave. Maybe if he would have kind of reset it right there, but this is the, I mean, money. Look how upside down
bottom turn, top turn combo I've seen of this entire event so far.
I agree with you. How he cut it short, and he always does that very well. That's the advantage also a goofy footer is going to have, like always being very tight in the pocket.
You wanted it, you got it. The Toledo show is on. We are live from Punta Roca here in La Libertad, El Salvador. The Surf City El Salvador Pro is going off. And we are right now being entertained by one of the fastest surfers on the planet. And a guy who looks like he is ready to take another title, Filipe Toledo. Just nice lofty frontside ollie there. Still going. And no worries. As if a 15.77 wasn't enough, can feel that Filipe is shooting for the stars here. That was incredible surfing.
I mean, look at this first turn right here. How he's going to identify the most critical part of the wave. The wave is breaking on top of him. Massive snap layback. And then the third one right here. Putting it all on the line and risking the whole rest of the wave. And this is what I was talking about, resetting. Make sure you highline and look what's in front of you. Make sure you don't waste anything that is ahead. Beautiful rotation, and to finish it off, another massive blowtail. Almost lands on his back, almost loses his foot, and is kind of shocked at the situation.
He's like, hey, what more do you want? I like him in the air too. You know, we talked a little bit yesterday about, you know, the difference between just a proper air off the section and kind of a ollie or like a chop hop. Sometimes you can kind of use that as he does right here. See, that wasn't a super critical, gnarly section, but he made it look like a proper air, and that's just pure technique.
Yeah, pure pop, pure speed, and that's the gap he has in front of most. Here you're going to see him bottom turn, and he just sets himself up for that most critical part of the wave, and you can see the fins coming out. That just shows how much commitment he has. Judges are going to love that. Beautiful bottom turn right there for him. The wave's almost breaking, the lip's breaking on top of him. He comes inside of it. See all those three fins disengaging, but because he has so much rail engaged, the inside rail engaged, he still has control of it. So that's the difference that Toledo's going to bring on a point break right for everyone. And then the third turn is going to come up. This is just a setup for him. I feel like the third turn he's going to push even harder than that first one. Look how tight he gets. Like, it's so critical of doing. It feels like he's going to disengage and just lose control. All those three fins once again outside of the water.
Score comes through. It's under the 7.77, just by a touch, 7.43. The answer back now from Ian Gouveia, who's climbed his way into second place. His last wave comes through to 5.57. Snap, float, combo there. Gets back at it. Through to the inside here. Gouveia. I mean, he fits in a lot of turns on these quick waves. Solid finish there. So, in looking back at Toledo's previous wave, the 7.43 was just under the 7.77.
I think was higher than any of the other waves, but he did lack a little bit of flow and the speed connecting through the transitions. Ian here just very good surfing, very sparky. That third turn, probably getting more out of it than we were expected, and finish it off strong with a nice up and vertical stab right there.
Now,
but just smaller wave. I'm with you on that 557. He had some critical turns and the wave was bigger, but he mistimed that last turn. So maybe the judges kind of catching that edge right there, and Filipe just kind of cruising. Should finish it off the heat.
Maybe Gouveia's waves have been kind of shorter too.
Yeah,
even though he's done a lot of maneuvers, Toledo's waves have been longer, giving him, you know, maybe quantity over quality.
I was actually surprised on the 743. That was my take. I think the risk involved on that wave and how difficult it is to put a combination of those maneuvers. There's a lot of risk involved, and Ian's going to go for an air.
Oh, going for the signature move. Yeah, I think the eyes from above, the judges, pretty spot on in that he
caught the wave halfway through. He was spelling back out.
Yeah,
so there was some missed opportunity there. Just, I mean, luck of the rotation, I guess, right? He was spelling back out, and that wave came, and actually was his best score, and it was enough for him to make the heat.
Yeah, I think all the scores absolutely spot on there in that previous heat. Filipe Toledo, dominant performance. 15.77, highest heat total of the day so far.